They said Michael Jordan wasn't human. Opponents swore he could hear thoughts, predict moves, and turn one insult into a storm. But the real stories? The ones NBA legends whisper about. Those will make you realize why trash-talking Jordan was like waking up a sleeping lion. Michael Jordan wasn't just a basketball player. He was a storm in sneakers. And if you dared to provoke him with words, he'd destroy you with buckets. Over the years, teammates, rivals, and even kids at summer camps learned one brutal truth. Trash-talking Jordan was a death sentence. And today we're diving into the legendary trash talk stories you've probably never heard told quite like this. It all started in a Bulls preseason game. Steve Kerr was still wide-eyed, trying to find his place in the NBA. Jordan held the ball, glanced at Kerr and the bench, and smirked. Seconds later, he blew past his defender and hammered down a dunk over Dan Majorly. Jordan didn't just score, he laughed back at Kerr's bench, making sure everyone understood he had called it beforehand. For Kerr, that was his welcome to the NBA moment. He realized this wasn't about basketball anymore. With Jordan, every possession was psychological warfare. The bench couldn't stop laughing and shaking their heads because Jordan had turned a meaningless preseason play into theater. Kerr sat stunned, realizing that this guy didn't just play to win, he played to dominate every second. Even practice felt like Game 7 when MJ was involved. Lakers were up by 8. Jordan was having a miserable night, 4 for 16 from the field. Derek Martin thought it was safe to poke the bear. He leaned in and said, "Mike, shots not falling tonight, huh?" Big mistake. In the last 10 minutes, Jordan dropped 24 points like a man possessed, flipping the game completely. As the buzzer sounded, he walked past Martin, cold as ice, and said, "Stay quiet." That wasn't just a comeback. That was Jordan reminding the entire league. Even on his worst nights, he was still the most dangerous man on the floor. The energy inside the arena flipped instantly. Every make was louder than the last, and by the time he hit his final jumper, the crowd was on its feet, roaring. The Lakers bench, which had been smiling minutes earlier, sat stone silent, realizing they had awoken something they couldn't stop. 1993 NBA Finals. Barkley was the reigning MVP. He exploded for 48 points in one game, thinking he'd finally beaten Jordan. But MJ? He answered with 55. Barkley admitted later, "For the first time in my life, I felt someone was better than me at basketball." That's the thing. Jordan didn't just play the game. He broke players down and even had the biggest names in the league doubting themselves. Teammate Horace Grant once revealed the dark truth. Jordan's trash talk had no boundaries. He'd go after families, pets, insecurities, whatever broke you. Take LeBradford Smith. He scored 38 on Jordan one night. Jordan told teammates, "I'll get 40 by halftime tomorrow." And he did. For Smith, that 38-point outburst should have been the proudest night of his career. But Jordan refused to let it breathe. He buried it under his own explosion, making sure fans remembered only the response, not the spark that started it. Smith's best night was erased in 24 hours. For Jordan, it wasn't just revenge, it was erasure. He didn't just beat you, he erased your moment from history. 1995 playoffs. Jordan had just come back from baseball, wearing number 45. After Game 1, Orlando's Nick Anderson told reporters, "45 ain't 23. Those 4 words lit a fire. Next game, Jordan walked in with his iconic number 23. He dropped buckets like it was 1993 again, reminding the world that legends never fade. And that quote? It became one of the most infamous mistakes in NBA trash talk history. KG was a rookie, hyping up his teammate J.R. Rider during a Bulls matchup. "Keep cooking him, J.R. He can't guard you." Problem was, Jordan overheard. Within minutes, MJ turned the game into a bloodbath. Scoring spree after spree. Years later, Garnett laughed about it, saying, "Never talk shit to Mike ever again in life." Lesson learned, forever. Jordan didn't just wait for the whistle. He controlled the mind games before the game even started. One night, he walked into the Hawks locker room, looked at Randy Whitman, and casually said, "Lace him up. It's gonna be a long night." Hours later, he hung 60-plus points on them. That's not basketball. That's psychological domination. Rookie Shaq faced Jordan for the first time, and later admitted it was surreal. It was like seeing God for the first time. When he tried to block MJ, Jordan scored anyway, barely acknowledging him. That was the magic. Jordan wasn't just another player. He was myth in motion. Exhibition game. Rookie Reggie Miller had 10 points at halftime. Jordan only had 4. Feeling cocky, Miller chirped, "You're supposed to be Michael Jordan?" MJ's response. Second half, Jordan exploded for 44. Miller, just 2 more. After the game, Jordan whispered, "Don't ever talk to Black Jesus." Reggie learned quick. You don't poke the god of basketball. Years later, Miller admitted that single game changed how he approached trash talk forever. He went from fearless rookie to cautious competitor because once Jordan humbled you like that, the lesson stayed carved into your memory. He never forgot what Black Jesus taught him. At Jordan's summer camp, teenage O.J. Mayo, one of the hottest prospects in the country, tried to test the legend. Trash talk, confidence, the whole act. Jordan stopped the camp, sent the kids home, and said, "Let's play." One-on-one. MJ dominated him, proving that even retired, the crown was still his. Before a playoff game against the Nets, Jordan strolled over to Sam Cassell and asked, "Where you going on vacation after this?" Message delivered. Game over before it started. Jordan then torched them with 23 in the first quarter, crushing their spirits early. Kenny Smith once broke it down perfectly. People saw the dunks and the hang time, but what made Jordan terrifying was his fundamentals. He had no weakness. He was the most sound, complete player in basketball history. That's why you couldn't guard him. Not because he jumped higher, but because he did everything better. When the Lakers told MJ Byron Scott was out and Anthony Peeler would guard him, Jordan smirked. He's getting 50 tonight. Final stat line, 54 points. Jordan didn't just talk. He predicted the future. 1992 Barcelona, Dream Team practice. Magic Johnson trash-talked Jordan. "If you don't turn into Air Jordan, we're blowing you out." That was it. Jordan flipped the switch, scored at will, locked everyone down, and finished with a jaw-dropping 360 dunk. Magic admitted later, that was the day the team realized MJ wasn't just great, he was untouchable. Teammates Pippen and Armstrong explained it best. Jordan destroyed you in 2 ways. Physically, by scoring relentlessly. Mentally, with words that broke your spirit. They said even in games like the flu game, Jordan's aura alone convinced opponents they couldn't win. Playing with him meant witnessing a predator hunt every night. Morning once blocked Jordan at the rim, a rare feat. But Jordan never forgot. The next time down, he exploded with a thunderous dunk right on Zoe's head. That clip still rolls on highlight reels today, proof that if you embarrassed him once, he'd repay you twice as hard. Bonus trash talk moments. But Jordan laughed and called him the glove that doesn't fit. Years later, even Peyton admitted MJ had the final word in every matchup. Tim Hardaway recalled Jordan saying before a game, "Don't even bother lacing them tight, Tim," told reporters. That wasn't Michael Jordan. That was God disguised as Michael Jordan. From rookies to MVPs, from rivals to teammates, the pattern never changed. If you challenged him, he embarrassed you. Michael Jordan wasn't just the best player. He was basketball's ultimate predator. And that's the thing about Jordan. His trash talk wasn't just words. It was a weapon, and every story proves it. Now I'm curious, which of these moments shocked you the most? Drop it in the comments, because I'd love to hear your take. If you had fun reliving these stories, go ahead and share this with a fellow Hoops fan, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Until then, stay legendary.